Welcome to the Intuition Hour with Katt Nicholson, where our wonderful host Katt encourages each and every one of you to build your own intuition, navigate your own connection with spirit, and tap into the deep beauty within yourself. Enjoy the Intuition Hour with Katt Nicholson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. You are listening live to the Intuition Hour. I am your host, Katt Nicholson. I want to make sure I am coming through loud and clear. I am so excited to be with all of you today. And please welcome. Today is July 13th. It's 2026. I can't believe I'm even saying that. We are in the dead hot summer of Central Florida. And I know many of you are experiencing the same, so I hope you're staying cool in the world. We have an exciting week. I want to shout out first, of course, to the birthday boy who's probably going to kill me, but you know Mark's birthday is this week, so we can all say happy birthday to Mark. And he is definitely someone to celebrate in the world. I know you're all enjoying him so much, and you'll be coming over from his show this morning here on YouTube, and super excited to have all of you. Tough act to follow, but love being here with you. Super excited to be back with you live, and we're going to keep the summer running, so that's very good news. It is a new moon in some hours now. I know, but I said to myself, by the time you rise on Tuesday morning, the moon's going to start following. So I am really excited about that. This is a really interesting retrograde. I know many of you are feeling it. It is a time of, because of the Cancer energy, because of the psychic energy, it is a time to really, I guess, pay attention to what we're picking up on and what is actually from ourselves or within ourselves against what's going on in the world and the absorption that we contain for other people, because I've noticed certain things. So I just want to shout out before we get going. I am going to be taking a lot of questions today, so please go ahead and fill that chat room here. I'm definitely excited about the psychic space. Now, with that being said, I have a lot of Cancer in my chart, as many of you know. I'm actually more water than most of the other elements, and I have all three. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Anyway, of course, I had to have a lifeline this week, and John Joseph is always on the other end, which I don't like to call him out too frequently, but he definitely deserves it. He was a godsend. He is so great. I cannot say enough about it. It was definitely life altering. And you guys won't hear me saying that too often. And that, you know, being an intuitive for so many decades, it is really easy to get caught up in, you know, we don't need any help, and many of you do this, and I'm an empath, and I'm afraid to take on anybody else's, you know, words, because sometimes I just like to go. I mean, of course, I go to God. I want to hear a message from the Holy Spirit and everything else that we are attached to in that vertical direction. And I contacted him. He was on the spot. He was spot on. I can't even say on and on I go. It was definitely a Cancer moment. I felt that nurturing energy. It made so much sense. And ever since, it's been really good. So I think what we remember coming up, and then I had to be reminded that we have this new moon on top of the Mercury retrograde, where my Mercury is in Cancer. And I love going back with you guys and digging up some of the things that I'm having a fun day. I'm going to interrupt myself for a minute and shout out to Erica, who is here this morning. I love your fours. And I love that you're here across the pond. And everyone knows Erica from One Two Listen. Thank you so much for being here this morning. And thank all of you. I'm super grateful. But that you made my day. Speaking of digging up, I haven't seen you in a little while, so it's always a joy. And I love that you're here. Good morning to all of you coming in as well. And I will say hi as the morning goes on. With this retrograde energy, I'm one of those people that always want to take the chance and right, like Mark says, we're really bigger than the retrograde and we can't let it control our lives. And there are some things we can't deny about it. And of course, during this moon, the new moon coming into morning and in the middle of the night for you California people, we are definitely feeling it in a way that we probably haven't in some time. And even from my the intuitive parts of myself, I'm thinking, what can I bring with you guys? Hi, Jamie, you too. Jamie's here from One to Listen as well. Let me say hi to everybody because you're just piling in. Maya and Lynn and Nadine, hello. Lori, Becca, Pam, Lori, Lara, Tara, hi. Jim, good morning. And whoever, Randy, you too, and Laura, you too. So good morning to all of you. Come on in, and hopefully you'll keep coming in. And, I was thinking, what can I possibly share other than what we know about the little crabby energy? And there is a little crabby energy going on right now. There's a lot of nostalgia, of course. We know all the typical things, our mother issues, our connections to what we did or did not receive from our moms. These kinds of things, we all know these things. But what can we do between now and in the middle of the night? I think it's like 2:40 something a.m. Pacific time, which is close to 6 a.m. here. And what is it when we go towards the dark moon and the night gets dark? We want to release because things shrink. So I always remind people that it's a good time to shrink what we're trying to release, or even our weight, like if you're trying to go on a little diet, like now is the time to manifest that. So release it. You want to ask to release or shrink or let go of things that we no longer need, and we want to choose that moment of peace today. I feel like it's peace without proving something. We don't need to prove anything to ourselves or anyone else. We can have that inner peace. Just allow it for the day. We can go with curiosity and really check into things without having fear. And it's a very common time for fear, especially with the new moon and the dark moons. And we go through all these cycles and, we lose a little bit of what we feel is brave or courageous or anything like this. But really with this moon, we want to ask for, it's okay to be curious. It's okay to dig at things. It's okay to, because we feel so much, we want to pull things apart and validate something. We don't need to do that. It's okay to choose trust over control because we don't have to always be in control. And I think some of you, we realize they are interesting times. Joni, you could not have said it any better. Good morning. And KM, you too. Good morning to you. Maya, we are in interesting times. There is no way around it. And that's why these things, peace over proving, curiosity over fear, trust over control, like, do we really keep ourselves in check with these matters? Because sometimes we talk about our abundance boards and our manifesting and things that I learned this from a brilliant woman over in Italy. And I really hope she's tuned in, but if not, she's a dear friend, and she really encouraged at one time about our vision boards and how to really increase our gifts through doing so, through the manifestation of our gifts, our nature, our inner core, ourselves. This is how we manifest what it is we want in a materialistic sense. And it's okay to want things or material possessions or improve certain things. But now coming up to the dark side, or we are at the dark side of the moon and coming into even more darkness, if we reread, we're going to go back a little bit in time. And if we reread some of the chapters of our lives and we start to edit or proof or whatever it is that we have to renew, review, this kind of thing, I believe that it really helps us. It's like planting the seeds in the garden. I was just having this vision. We planted sunflowers this recent July, and I was thinking about the seeds. Now this is where my brain goes, and I hope yours can too. I was thinking of pre-new moon, the dark night, the seeds are in the ground and we all have them. And we all have something within us that we want to plant. But think about those seeds. I'm thinking to myself, this is where I go with it. Those seeds in the ground are in dark dirt. There's no light. They don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on. Nobody knows if they're going to grow, if they're going to stay stagnant, if they're going to sprout. What does it take? What does it take in order for these things to grow? And what does it take for these seeds to turn into something? And I guess the watering, the rain, nature, everything about it that happens in a miraculous way, it's really about trust, because we have to believe that it's growing. Tara says her seeds have been planted. Let's get growing. It's so very true that gratitude, Joni Good, surrendering. This is the truth. Like, what do we know? We don't know if these things are going to grow, or if, all we have is like what we've learned over time. And so we don't believe that. Can they grow? How tall are they going to grow? How good is it going to get? How, we are programmed to believe that things are repetitive over and over again, and they don't have to be. We have the ability and the power within us to say, hey, this is going to be better. Yes. Thank you, Jamie. It is going to be better. If not this, something better. So how about something bigger? How about bigger flowers? How about larger seeds? How about whatever it is that we can imagine and create in our own mind? We release what we no longer want just prior to this moon, and we clear our closets. We try to clear our mind. We let go of some of that bitterness. That, no offense, I love the Cancer energy. You all know this. I speak their language big time. But sometimes we have to get rid of that persnickety, maybe bitter taste in our mouths, so our hearts can become lighter without worry. Our intuition becomes louder without fear. How many of you try to get an intuitive hit on something for yourselves, but that fear is taken over and it can't possibly be true, and you can't find it, and you're struggling and you're not trusting? And every ending is leaving room for a new beginning. And that makes us feel, even if we're feeling alone in this energy, we're never really alone. Just like those seeds aren't alone in the ground. They're in the darkness, they're in the dirt, but they are so specific in a metaphor, or with a metaphor of our humanness, that we may feel in the dark in that moment, but our seeds are going to sprout. We don't know how, but we have something to be excited about, and we are definitely going to stay excited about it. And we are definitely coming into a time when we can accept the changes that are going on. The collective is crazy. We already know this. It's so hard to imagine removing, okay, we have a crazy country, right? I think it's true for almost everywhere in the world right now, but we have freedom in a way that no one else at certain intervals can experience, no matter how difficult it seems. And we have gratitude that we must take with us in the bigger picture. Because if not, we'll crumble in this space. Okay, so all that gratitude that we have for what's going on out in the world, because we have to trust that every single day we are safe and secure and we have this firm foundation. We have to take that within ourselves. I'm so glad. Thank you. All of you, thank you so much. We have to take this within ourselves and really believe it. We have such an easy time. This is what another thing I'll mention John Joseph again. You know, it's easy to align in such pleasantry. I can't even put words to the conversation, but it's so nice when somebody understands you, because if you're taking your past, present, and future, it would be really hard, and you relate that to what's going on in the outer world today, it would be really difficult to believe that we have to accept for ourselves that that's the end of it, because it's never the end. It's always changing. We always ebb and flow. We always have hope in the peaks. And every time we're in a valley, we have to remember that there's hope in the peak, okay? So it is, yes, definitely staying on the ground. I love that too. Now, I want to be in the water right now. I know all of you do as well, but it is a good time. I saw someone say they were salting. Where is that? Let me see what comments. Let's come into the room. I am going to start taking some questions. I want to check one thing to make sure we're all in one piece over here. Make sure, okay, we're doing great. Make sure that you guys are in sync with one another, and let's just put it out there for the highest amount of clarity we can get through our questions. And what happens is when I finally caved, of course, you're hanging on for dear life, because you all know I have gone through so much with the dogs passing away and everything that happened this year. And I was hanging on by myself. And of course, John was my lifeline at the time. Well, oh, and it was Mark's idea. I can't forget the birthday boy, because he actually did encourage me in a gentle way to call many times before I did, of course. But it cleared me up, so I could be here renewed. And I'm so grateful, especially now with the new moon. I was thinking, damn, that was a big save, because we want to be prepared for the moon, because this one is a little cantankerous. And it's so good to clear out your emotional closets and come clean and fresh. And I'm so excited. And I could see and feel for you guys in brand new ways. How is your ginger girl? Debbie just said her ginger girl dog just had surgery. How is she doing? And where is she? Let's send lots of love to Ginger today, everyone. KM, it's hot where I am, but last night I took a frankincense salt bath, and then I turned on the AC. That's great. We would be dead without AC in Florida right now. She's doing good. I'm really grateful, and it will continue, I'm sure. Good mommy, good dog mom. Great dog mom. We'll put it out there for her, Deb, for sure. All right, who has a question now that we're coming to a place together? Oh, let me just say one thing. Randy said that she would love some insights into someone who called me yesterday. I did not answer the call, as I haven't heard from them in years and do not trust they've changed. I want to say this because I'm looking over here at my left, and I could see the past, and I'm looking at my right and I could see your future. And so there's a tug, but I'm seeing you this back and forth head thing, and I like that. But The thing is this. I think looking forward is better. And I'm seeing very clear dark hair person coming in with a goatee. Not much hair, but enough, I say military cut-ish. And somebody coming into your future. So you'll tell me now. I feel the month of October, I don't know why. If this person resembles this person, then we better have a discussion. But if not, then let's just keep moving. I do feel someone coming into your future, and it's not similar to the person in the past. The thing is that if you feel closed, and this goes for all of you, because the retrograde brings back all of this energy. Oh my goodness. I do know who. Laura, thank you. I feel it's okay. Debbie, I'll be there in a second too. I feel it's okay to not look back. If you feel closure within yourself, if it's something you have that you feel is holding you back, or you need time to heal it, or you need to have a conversation, or you lack closure in yourself, then you have to reconsider your decision. If you don't and you feel great and you're fine moving on, I've done it. I know many people have done it. Sometimes finishing up unfinished business is a really good move. If you feel finished, keep going. I feel that way. I know I see somebody great in your future, and I can't wait to find out. And did I say October? Because I feel October is going to be a special time for you. And I like that a lot. Now let's see. Debbie, let's talk to you for a minute. No. I see that short-haired October's your birthday? Okay, good. Just you're going to be having someone in your world that's a male. So I like that. That's okay that you're okay. She said it's her sister. That's why it wasn't I think you should wait a little bit. But I would always encourage that connection no matter what. But as far as romantic life, you definitely have someone coming around you in the autumn, October, which I didn't even know. I'm not going to go against what I see. So, and October is special. So that's good and validating. Okay. I would never discourage a healing around your family connections ever. But I will tell you that 4 months from now, there's a very, very strong chance that will happen. No going back in any kind of romantic situation, nothing like that. Always moving forward. I definitely see something clicking around your birthday, perhaps, but I did say October. And with your sister, I would wait for some reason. I think 4 more months, there's going to be some healing. I don't know if it'll ever be the same again, honey, but I definitely believe that you can have a renewed beginning. Okay. So how far are we? August, September, October. Oh yeah, November. I think we can work on that. I just feel like it's a little too fresh for some reason, even though I know I'm not saying it's been a long, it hasn't been a long time, but I really believe you should wait. And I hope that helps. Okay. All right. Now, does that all make sense? Randy? I think you have exciting times coming. I think because we're in this bit of a slower time, and we have this chance to breathe, I think we believe that it's always going to be feeling stuck or sludgy or things can't change. The light won't turn on. And we always think this before the new moon, even more so. And please remember, lives are changing. Your lives are going to change a ton. And I think we're going to be really surprised by some of these things. Okay. Debbie Lee, her friend Jody ghosted her, and it hurt so bad. She has since apologized in a text, but she hasn't replied. I think there's love in the connection, but there are some health matters that need to be cleaned up, because I'm proud of you for not drinking, number one. Number two, obviously there are behavior problems that will really need to be figured out along the way. And I don't know if she could do that, not really at this time, Debbie. But I think Ginger, you said Ginger, you and Ginger had many lifetimes together. I say put your energy into that temporarily. I don't want you to have any regrets around Jody. And so I feel our spirit knows, just like Randy cannot go near her sister yet. It was a very unexpected thing. It's not time for her to go, because her body and her being, of course, we're tempted to go back. We want to say something. Our body knows. I feel this strongly. There is like a wall that we create in our system that will not allow this situation to return, or maybe we know in ourselves it's not time. And sometimes alcohol isn't really healthy. I don't want to judge it for every person, but I could tell that it's a personality shift. Is that true for her? Does it change who she is in a sometimes not so positive way? And you could see the difference because you're so clear. One of the separators from spirit is quote unquote spirits. So you could see a little more because you're, of sound mind all of the time. It presents, a lot of clarity. Where that's troublesome. But it also brings behavior of either you're drinking or you're dry. And so because of the cravings and stuff. So it's a blessing to not crave it after you have it. But many people are not blessed that way. So she says she tried to help her, got hooked in. This is the thing. It's very difficult to not get hooked in emotionally to what the decision making is on the other person, especially with addicts or functional addicts, or perhaps it's not up to us to judge whether they are or aren't, but if they're hooked into it and we get hooked into where their decisions are, we kind of hold them. It's a lesson that many of us have learned over time, to not hold ourselves responsible because they're not listening, or congratulations, or to not, this is hard. You have to keep a distance. That's it. She says, is it okay I share out loud? Congratulations. I'm very proud of that. I know a lot of amazing people who are in recovery and doing well. And it is a miracle, as you know, to be without craving. And I believe that's God's work in our lives. And I truly, truly understand it and know what that feels like. And I love that. But not everyone is that. I don't know if it's a blessing. I don't know. It's not because we're blessed and somebody else is cursed. It's because it is a true miracle that was believed to be true and real. And I could really spend a lot of time on this topic. Hopefully one day we'll be able to spend more time on this topic, but it truly, truly is a blessing. And I love that. And if you love her and you could find a way to separate your differences and understand, part of recovery has to do with taking a step back and remembering to stay in our own lane, because staying in your own lane, and I believe that too, I really do, but you can't be responsible for her choices. And sometimes it's just holding her hand and maybe praying or meditating or manifesting what it is that you would like for her, because the universe is listening, God is listening, and hopefully she'll have the same miracle that you received. And I feel bad for people who don't get that miracle. And believe me when I tell you, and some of us out in the world don't really receive the hands of God like that, or the blessing or the light or whatever it is. I think you can. I feel like there's enough love to heal this and stay in your own lane and, keep a little healthy distance without feeling emotionally responsible. How's that? But I think that has to be on your terms, and we'll see how you do with it, and you come back and share, and we'll guide the situation a little bit, okay? But I definitely think it's worth it. Like with Randy, I was telling her, because here we are in a retrograde and a lot of people are trying to return. Even though it's her sister, I know she's not fully there yet. So it's going to take some time. Debbie, I think for this situation, it was her shame or embarrassment that encouraged her to do what she did. So not that I don't want to make excuses for poor behavior, but I definitely feel like there's something worth looking at, okay? All right, let me come back to the top, guys, and see. I feel like I'm missing someone. Lara, I like late August. The energy is not differentiating because of the sun in Virgo for you, okay? I have no doubt. I'm saying late August. Randy says the retrograde hasn't been the best so far. It really hasn't. But there's always a silver lining. Don't forget that. Let's see. Lara, I do feel a better transition for you. Honestly, can I say, and I'm just going to be honest about what I'm seeing and just go with me on it. I almost feel a temporary place one time for like a month, and then you really, really settle in. I know that's not ideal, but I really feel like it may be necessary to get you where you want to go. And I just am putting it out there. Okay. And you come back and let us know. It is the right thing to do, especially because I think you'll know that something else is on the horizon waiting for you. I feel that. So please, I do think it's going to be okay. And you come back and share. Okay. All right. Now, Jean, I know this is a little crazy, but she says that she's loving the peace of her new home. I don't know why the color orange is so loud for you, but it is. And I don't know why I'm getting that. It's so interesting. When we think about orange and the chakras, that part of your body, I'm thinking this. I feel like there's something about it, even if it's a pillow or something. Or is anybody else working with the color orange right now? Because it's so, so strong. And of course, when I see this too, I think about the citrus and like citrus fruits, like um, vitamin C, getting out in the sun. I feel all this, or the sunrise or sunset. And I see more sunshine for you. So this is a really, really good sign. But it's such a color. I have no idea why it's so strong. I know it's kind of a kooky answer, but I'm sticking with it because I think you need it. There's something about it. It may ring true so soon. Putting a little color in your world. And I like that. Let me see what else you set up here. You come back and share. Sometimes it's adding a little color in your life, putting a little spark back in things. I think you're really ready for that. I love the piece. And we'll add a little excitement to it. How's that? Okay, you come back and let me know. Okay, now I see a question. Jamie, I am going to answer. Where did you go? Okay. Any insight on the slow and steady progress with a certain person over the course of 11 months in terms of future significant changes? So, I feel like don't shoot the messenger. I feel like it's going to take a little more time. And I think you're over your, yeah, I really do. Like, I never want to encourage anyone to wait for anything or anyone, really. I mean, yes, if certain things are worth waiting for, if there's progress, I do see progress, but I also want to say to keep focused also, and I know you do, on yourself and your goals and everything else. I do think there's a mission here in your spirit because there's such a soul tie, and I understand that. And you're not going to give up easily anyway, so there's no sense trying to change your mind, and I'm not. And I understand. But I feel like you're a little more than halfway there to really get the whole picture. And so I'm actually in the spring already in my mind between now and then as it grows. Now, I'm not saying there aren't any significant changes, but I do feel change. And so this is a journey for you. I think it's um oh wait, let me see. Things have gotten deeper. Okay. She feels it also, she says, but it's to take more time. I do. It's like having a baby. That's what I feel. It's like having a pregnancy, 9 months, you know. But I feel like there's going to be some changes every 2 months, and you'll see what I'm saying. And in about a 6-month period, you may say, "Okay, enough is enough. Like I've had enough." And then it'll change so drastically for the better. That's what I feel, because when you put your foot down, I 6 months from now, it's best to keep my timeline in the back of your head, so, not to really, I don't wanna encourage any kind of rapid change. Please, like, I know you're an I know you have that fire. Try to just let it play out the way it's meant to play out and not rushing anything. I believe by not rushing, you can totally, receive more of what you want, and I mean that, but I also feel don't change it. So let it flow for, half a year or so. It's gonna continue. Look, you've already done 11 months. You let it flow for half a year and whatnot, and then after that, you may get a little spicier. And then I know I like go with the flow myself. I feel like we're on track with that. Energetically, there's really nothing else we could do. But and I'm with you on this. And then at that point, though, something's going to shift, and it's probably going to be like right at the end of January. It feels like this. You know how we get those New Year get up and go, like we're going to change it all. We're going to change the world, change ourselves, change our person, blah blah blah. Anyway, I think that's going to happen, and then you'll straighten things out, and then it'll grow, and then it'll get better. And I always say either this or better, it's very important, but you're going to be great. Um, the old expression, I think when we're so convicted about someone because we have such a soul attachment or a soul tie, um, you have to smile through it because there's no talking anything anyone out of us. It's another God factor. When we try to push and prod and force and try to escape or run away, it doesn't make, and this is for all of you in connections that feel one person's, a little faster than the other, or one person's on a mission and the other person's like, "Oh, I need time to wake up," kind of thing. I think that it's very true that it's hard to give up, but you will learn in time that timing will help you in so many ways. And also, I feel, Jamie, that you have to embrace what it is, okay? For what it is. All right. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay, now coming back up. Pamela, where are you? And Tara, I see you too. Corinne, you too. Wait, who did I just say? Pamela. She says she has a few friends. You are so funny. This is such this is like perfect water time, Cancer energy too. Even though I know there's some Scorpio in there. She says, I have a few friends who are kind of testing the waters about living with me, as I do have a room, but I still work from home and I have some health problems and I feel a bit selfish, but I'm thinking I'm better off by myself right now. I think we can revisit this before the end of the year. How's that? I don't know why, but there may be something for 6 months. Someone may want to come for 6 months. We don't have to make any decisions right now. And I feel really good for that. Right? I'm with you for now. Let's wait. I believe you have about 3 or 4 months to chill and see how it goes, and then see if somebody talks you into a 6-month stay. That may turn into longer, but let's see, okay? I'm good. Especially over the summer, it just feels easier to be alone for now and like your space and take care of your health and all these things. But there may be a reason for it in the autumn, okay? And we'll see how it plays out. And we'll revisit that then. Okay. Lori says it's really hard for her it's difficult to get rid of her excess stuff. She's a Taurus moon, not stubborn or anything. This is what I think too. It's so challenging to let go of certain things. But if we look at it like we're just cleaning space, when we clean our space, when we clean our closets, we also clean our internal being. It's a metaphor for so many things. And I truly believe that this is really, I'm not forcing a Taurus moon to do anything, by the way. But I do feel if you just look at it like as we clean, every time I have Venus in Taurus, Lori, so I can relate to you in so many ways. Like I have so much Cancer, everything's a memory, so I hold on to it. I have to reflect on everything, clothing, everything. But it really does feel good inside when if you align yourself with like whatever, say you're cleaning out a shirt and you have to get rid of it and give it to charity, in your stuff, then you look at it like, oh, I'm letting go of this negative feeling, or try to attach it to a negative memory, and then it's easier to let it go. I'll try anything to get rid of something. My husband would love if I got rid of 90% of what we have, but I can't. So I think it would be good for you to try to do that. And even if it's one thing, it's a step along the way. You don't have to do it all at once. I think that's part of you can go nice and easy, Taurus moon. Okay? Like you're grazing in the grass, taking a little chomp of something along the way, clearing up a little corner, like that. It's all visual, really. We can imagine so many things that a lot of our intuition when our intuition overcomes fear, we can imagine anything for ourselves and others. And sometimes when, I have to quote Mike Dooley for a minute, when we say our thoughts become things, there's truth to that. And you all know this is it's honest. And so, you just have to go with it a little bit. Oh, I love the visual. Mark joined. Thank you for saying hi. I did that because you're such a nice crab. We made it Serena put a nice crab in the room. We're celebrating you and Cancer. Okay? I think that is a good step. Everybody, and Debbie, especially being in recovery and knowing the steps, taking each step one thing at a time. I think as humans in certain generations, we're so programmed to bite off more than we can chew. So we think we have to do it all the time. And so I think slow and steady is going to win this race. And I like that. I challenge you to get rid of one thing that you've been wanting to get rid of and haven't before the new moon in the middle of the night. So see if you can do it, okay? And let us know next time. Okay, now you'll make space for love. I like that. I think we have to make space for all these things. Okay, now I feel like I missed someone. Karan, where did you go? Oh, Tara first, and then you, and then we'll say goodbye. Let me just check real quick on the time, guys. Okay, here we go. We got 5 minutes, so let's do this right. Tara, I love that you applied. She takes a retrograde. She goes back to where she once worked. It's a very, very positive energy there. Any idea how this will unfold? I feel like they're going to offer you one of two. Do you have any idea if they're hiring for something else right now? Because I feel like they're going to offer you something a little different. And I don't know how quickly, but I absolutely think you're going to get your foot back in the door, leading to something else. Okay, hon? So I'm going to say yes with a little twist. That's how it feels. And you let me know. Come back and tell me what happens. Now, if you did go into this position, I also feel you'll go into another one quickly. Okay? Because that's how it's reading through. It's giving me a dual answer. No, I just want to be honest. So you come back and share and let us know. I think Thursday is a good day. Also, Thursday. Okay. Now, let me see who's next. There's one. Who did I say? Karan, where did you go? Karen. Me and some high school friends are meeting at the beach. There's a little tension. I think remembering that everyone has their own story right now and the narratives are extremely complicated. And I think a couple of people have gone through a lot of painful situations of late or even along the way. And one, count your blessings. Two, remember that everyone has their own story. So the tension, and I'm going to put this out there, politics are probably off the table. And I don't know why I'm saying that. I feel like somebody has some strong views there, so it'll keep peace if we don't do that. And I do hope that helps because I think the tension will ease once everyone is together for a little while. It's a good time to reconnect, but it's also, I don't like saying, oh, mind your P's and Q's or whatever, but less is more. I feel that as well. I do think it's worth going though. I would never talk you out of it. Do you know why? Is there significant tension with two other people or do you feel that? Or know that? Because I feel like somebody might get on somebody else. Oh, if two people argue in the space, stay out of it. Okay. So, I hope that helps. Okay, now I will say this. Who am I missing? Am I missing anyone else? You guys have to help me out here. I just want to make sure everyone has a bit of an answer. I also want to say the green turtle. Lori, that's funny because we have a turtle coming to our door every day. And I really don't know why, but I feel like it's another spirit animal. Of course, we have the raccoons now. I am literally married to Dr. Doolittle at this point, so we're just going to run with that. And we do have a lot of pets. I know there's pictures on my Facebook page over at Kathleen Nicholson of these raccoons. We have, Steve's taken and running with it, and they actually got very, very lucky for finding us, or finding him for sure. And I appreciate that too. Does anybody else have any questions? Of course, everyone say happy birthday to Mark Hassan this week. Don't forget, he loves that. But I did want to honor them, and John Joseph as well. I mean, just brilliant, you guys. If you ever get a chance to connect with him, please do. I can't stress it enough. And also, everyone, Joni, what did I not do? Okay. Are there 2 people? I see 2 people, Corinne's telling me. I think less is more. I think it's okay. And strangers, I don't know. Sometimes it's easier to go to strangers, I hate to say. But that's okay. It'll calm. And I also believe that it's because that there's something triggering them. So that's better if you keep it the way we said, okay? I do think that makes sense. I do think there's 2 of them, and they may get into it too. I see 2 people getting into it that has nothing to do with you. So you tell me how everything plays out there. Okay, now. Turtle is the heart energy. Hi, Lois. You're so welcome. Yeah, one is political. I could see no politics there. Just try. I know it's hard. People are so sensitive. Remember, Cancer energy is like, it will, instead of crying 3 tears, you're crying a bucket kind of energy. Just remember this, and it's going to get better, and it's going to get brighter, and we're coming through it just fine. But just remember what I said, okay? I have one more thing. Where did Joni go? I don't know. I can't find your question, but I will say this. Oh, you're surrendering. Okay, so she just asked for a little peek. That's why I missed it. I think look at both sides of every situation before making any decisions. And it's definitely your choices are being heard, seen, noted. And I feel like you're going to make some really good choices. Listen to your physical body around making any choices, and you have some really good things coming. I feel like you're going to start attracting like-minded people also. All right. All right. So everyone, thank you so, so much. Anything, I do have to go. Our hour went by so quickly. Thank you for being with us. Serena, thank you for being my producer and my graphic designer who always nails what I'm looking for. So thank you so much. Everyone, take care. Lots of love. Okay. Bye-bye for now. Happy new moon. Yes, he is. You are too, Lenny. Thank you for that. Bye. Love you too, Deb. Congrats. I'm so in your corner. You have no idea. Lots of love. Lots of blessings to all of you. Bye, everybody. Bye, Mark. Happy birthday, Mark. Bye, everyone.